This is the most expensive game I've ever seen, so surely it's unrivaled by any game ever. So let's go on this adventure together today, and so far I'm not at all disappointed. And we're already off to a really good start with these cutting edge graphics and no menu button whatsoever. So if you don't like the music, that's too bad. You paid $170 for it, you're gonna enjoy it. Also, you can fall into a pit. But that's okay, because once you do, you spawn in the next area, so this might actually be the way to progress the game. I'm not kidding when I say I think that's actually how you're supposed to do it. You can carry some speed along, but I cannot figure out how to get up a minor bump. I noticed I came armed with the most cutting edge weaponry, so hopefully I'll get to put that into use at some point. For now, I'm going to continue to fall slowly into pits. I would look up a tutorial at this point, but I don't think anyone else has ever bought this game because it's so ridiculously expensive. I've discovered there is a jump button. Jump only works every once in a while for reasons I don't understand. But for $170, I'm not going to complain. Pretty sure that's what people do when they buy expensive things. They say it's good no matter what the actual quality is. So the fact that I can jump very inconsistently isn't actually a flaw, it's a feature. Okay, I'm starting to get the strategy of this now. When you hit a gap that looks a little bit harder, you try and do a big jump. You gotta press spacebar like 3 to 5 times for him to actually jump once, but after that, it's kind of easy. You can coast across the small gaps. I did make it to the second stage though, so now we have a blue background, and those are a little bit tippy, but I actually like this stage better already because I can just kind of wing it, and that seems to be working. I can literally hold forward so far, so this is my kind of game. The kind where I don't really have to play at all. And we fell into the pink goo for the first time. I'm ending up with the pink goo a lot. They couldn't afford periods because they spent all their budget on the artwork. Still not entirely sure why I'm holding a stick, and I fell in again. That's okay, this is a momentum level. This is actually a challenge game. It's really challenging to do anything at all, including a single jump. This is actually really frustratingly annoying without a consistent jump. Like I can press spacebar a bunch of times, 1 out of 5 he actually jumps, I assume because there's some stellar coding behind this game. The problem is probably more so that he can't see where he's going because he has very tiny eyes. They didn't even give him ears, so we're working with a very small set of eyes. Here is the big excitement, we're moving into a green area now. So we're gonna hop our way along here very carefully. It's probably quicker just to do this. Just wait till you get a jump and then move, stop, then take another jump. We'll just waddle our way through the game that way. There's even polka dots in the background now, really worth the budget at this point. Well, at least I didn't add any ads or microtransactions to this game. Okay, I made it to whatever level this is, and there we go, we're on to new stuff. There's a mushroom with a top hat. I don't know why I think that's a mushroom. It's something that's just hanging out in the background. All right, that's perfect. Just what I wanted then to add to this game. You know, this might be the only game ever made in Microsoft Paint. I don't know what kind of madman thought this up, but clearly they're an unrivaled genius. So far this stage is the easiest of all of them, mostly because there's very little things to worry about. We have the occasional thing doing that, and at this point I'm not sure if it's supposed to be this way or not. I'm trying to understand this game, but I really don't think there's a point. We're just basically a 2-colored eraser with a stick out front, charging ever forward. It's probably some kind of metaphor for life. Or just something someone made in Paint in 5 minutes and threw it on Steam. Either way, we're getting to the end. The game is called 1000 Stages. I think we're at stage 600. I'm not sure what future has to do with anything. But presumably when this hits 0, that's the end of this stage or this game. I don't know yet. It's a little hard to predict what's happening. The jump button didn't work again, so we're going to fall down and die. And we're going to go ahead and do that twice because it's really annoying not having a functional jump button. Curiously, you do need a lot of patience to play this properly because you're waiting for the spacebar to work. And once you do, you take your opportunity to do just a little jump to make it to the next one. That took 10 presses of spacebar. I'm starting to get pretty caught up in the storyline though. I just have to see it through to the end now. I gotta see what this is all leading up to. I should probably turn this into a challenge. Like every 10 of these I should drink a cup of coffee. Or a pot of coffee. Zoomed in! Look at that feature! This actually makes it kinda hard to play because now we can't really see what's coming up. So clearly it's gonna get harder and harder. The challenge in this game isn't the level design, it's literally the controls. The very coding behind this game is just... I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but is it worth $170? I'll let you be the judge of that. It is pretty amusing because this is probably worth like at least 10 of any other game on my Steam list. It's legitimately been a long time since I struggled with the Gamers Hard. Again, not because of skills. A little bit because of skills, but mostly because of that. I keep just wanting to go across these gaps, but I can't. I jump at surprise times. And the hitboxes are a little bit wonky too. I can't even jump from here. I could probably jump from here. I guess $170 is cheap when you consider the value of patience you have to learn. I hope at some point I do get to stab someone with my sword baton. I feel like even that's not on straight. Like even that's all crooked and weird. I think this was literally made in Paint with like squares. The more I look, the more I'm seeing that's making me curious as to what exactly this is. Okay, we're about to hit floor 500. That should be the halfway mark, at least down to 0, and we fell again because the controls are just an absolute nightmare. Okay, there's 400. I got an achievement for that. It says Big Knight. I am a 500 steps knight. So I guess that confirms I am a knight. I just don't have armor or a sword. or a brain. I know this might be a little bit insulting to the game, but the editors could probably add a lot to this that makes it a little more exciting. Throw up a dragon in the background, or do some custom animation that makes him look like a real person. Or the biggest challenge of all, make it look like I'm actually competent at this game. This wonderful, lovely, ridiculously expensive game. I predicted this one's going to be the next big hit because jumping platformers are all the rage right now. This one's obviously going to be in a little higher end pretentious market because it's so expensive. Not just any gamer can play this one, and that's why I'm going to be top of the leaderboard. Yeah, I love this part already. And then I fell. Okay, well this just gets better and better. Only 450 more levels of this, and I pushed sideways, so I might have actually just broken the game entirely. Oh, never mind, I'm where that one used to be at least. So I guess we're going to jump to there. We can't possibly physically jump in time for that. So now I'm jumping under an invisible barrier somewhere roughly here. So I guess we're just gonna have to kind of guesstimate. Then whatever. We're just gonna keep going. We'll make it to the end. I love this game so much. Okay, we're gonna jump to one. Then I'm gonna spam the spacebar as much as I can. Still not get a jump off in time because jump just doesn't work. So I can press spacebar as fast as I can. Continually. Oh wait, we got 2 jumps in a row. Jump, 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 jump. I'm not actually on there. Then I'm caught on the corner. Oh, I skipped a few there. Oh, we were really starting to speed run that, but we're making progress. Feel free at this point, give your rating for this game in the comments. Out of 10, out of 100, out of anything. It does really make you commit to playing till the end, given that you paid so much money for it, so you kind of just have to go for it at this point. It's a game you can't put down simply for monetary reasons. Okay, we're about to pass 400. There might be a change coming up here pretty soon. Okay, we managed to get a jump off there. We got a jump off there. Yeah, we're flying now. And we're falling again. Even his little stick is bent. I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be. They did incorporate a little bit of 3D art by adding like a shadowy side here. I'm not really sure what that part is, but I don't think they cared by the time they made these. They clearly had a very skilled animator when they did this too, because the animations are absolutely flawless. Oh, I think I made it to the end. I'm really glad that's over. Now we have double-decker buses and dragons firing fireballs. So that brings us to a school bus. A double-decker school bus and dragons firing fireballs. You can't touch those. They couldn't even be bothered to use a different sentence. You fell into a pit. They're just using that because they were too cheap to even do anything about that. Okay, these ones fire from the top. They fire a lot more. So you just kind of wait for them to not do that, and then you sort of go. Then there's another dragon. There's room here to squeeze by. I don't really know anything anymore. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why you're watching this. I don't know why I'm showing this to you. Truly a work of art worth every penny. Sometimes when you fall into a pit and reload, it just spawns you right into the fireballs too, so you just kind of get like stun locked there for a few rounds. Also, wheels aren't blue, just a little criticism for the game developer. You can maybe make those a little more realistic. I was gonna run those fireballs, but I don't want this to take any longer than it already is. I think this is one of those games where if you just finish it in a reasonable time, like the entire game, you could probably get a refund for it anyway. Maybe that's gonna be the challenge one day, like a $500 game that a good player can do in 2 hours or less. That way, if you're really good, you don't have to pay for the game. If you're bad, you have to pay for it. This level was the easiest so far, mostly because there's no holes I can fall down into, and like the whole second half of this level, they just stopped putting dragons in. I assume because they were already over their 5-minute time budget to make this. So I guess we're going to find out what's in the future after maybe 203. Those jumps weren't the hardest I've ever made. Okay, I think we're moving on to... Nope, that was just an invisible wall. We're still in Dragonland, we're just without the dragons now. We actually have to jump over school buses just a little. But we are past 300. At this point, we can really make progress quickly. They clearly put all their effort into the first 2 or 3 levels. And yeah, there's an invisible wall here. For no reason at all. I assume that maybe lines up with that bus and there's just a weird hitbox there. The rest of the game is such a flawless masterpiece, so I really can't complain too much about those things. I just saw some fireballs here. I think it's supposed to be a challenge. They appear out of nowhere now. But if you're just like running along, you actually move quicker than they'll spawn in. Oh, except for that one. Just to prove me wrong. But this is still far, far easier than the earlier levels where jumping was more important. As long as I don't have to jump, it's perfectly fine. Anytime the jumping starts, it's mildly infuriating. Okay, I'm not really sure we're on top of the trees. Okay, we're on top of the trees now. We're jumping from tree to tree. I can't help but wonder what's at the end of our journey. Like, why are we doing this? Trees are a nice shape. I'm pretty sure I can just like basically jump off these. So I'm just going to speedrun it like this. Again, those animations, those shadows. Ooh. It all works so seamlessly together. I'm stuck into the tree now. Okay, this is definitely the easiest level so far because I really don't have to do anything except hold right. They did actually add a little bit of detail to the trees though. You know what, they're probably saving all their effort and art for the final level. It's all a trick. They're gonna lull you in. The last level is gonna be some amazing masterpiece. Buying and playing this game really just leaves me with more questions and answers. I have so many questions and no answers. Coming up on 200 though, that's going to be the home stretch. I'm literally just running to the right. I'm not doing anything. I'm not jumping. We're past 200, just running and running and running. That's okay. Times like this, my editors will make this look all sorts of fun and exciting. Cool effects to keep us all entertained. Okay, 171, we've hit some maple leaves, which it's just like level 1 all over again, but there's just maple leaves now. Those are the most detailed things we've seen in this game so far, and that stupid jump button. I love that so much. So we're back to doing it like this. You press spacebar a bunch of times till you find a gap you can walk over, and then you run off the edge anyways because you really just want to be able to jump. You know those free Flash games I play all the time that are like 15 years old? They're a lot better than this game is. You know, actually any game ever, it's better than this game is. But I'm doing this so you don't have to. 150 more painful floors to go. Just waiting for the jump. Like, I sit there and I press space bars. Usually it's within 3 to 5 presses, but sometimes it's not. I don't know why that is. Maybe a programmer could weigh in on how or why this is happening. Or maybe that's just a game feature to add a little more complexity. I would like to think, though, given the sort of overall quality of this game, that was not intentional at all. This is just something someone made in Paint in 5 minutes. The jumps are getting pretty big now. We still have a really good jumping capacity, which is great because this guy literally has no legs. I'm not really sure what the leaves are supposed to offer here other than a nice change in visuals. I thought that was going to be the end of the level, but we're coming up on floor 100. That's gotta be the end of this one, and then hopefully we can get away from the maple leaves for a while. I was so enthralled by this gameplay that I missed that we passed floor 100, but the level didn't change, so we might just ride this one all the way out to the end. And that would surprise me in no way, shape, or form. For $170, you really can't expect the game to change very often or very much. I can only imagine the colossal team of developers behind this game. I'd like to give a shout out here to Future69, just because I'm not really having fun anymore and I'm trying to entertain myself in any way that I can. I think I might have just developed a new strategy though. If I run back and forth, I can still jump and still move side to side a lot, so I wish I knew this from the beginning. I still screwed that up. We're on the final 50 now. It's actually really impressive that the game hasn't crashed once. Wait, what's this? We have some white blocks and ice, I guess, or something. There's also a green thing now. We got to jump up and over that. Okay, now we can actually float. We can't actually die at this point. They're just there to annoy us. I don't really know. Okay, we're coming out from behind a waterfall. That was some actual somewhat artwork. And when we go over this, it flashes colors. Yeah, see, I told you they were holding out to the end for all the good stuff. Oh, you can actually survive down here. Maybe it's kind of supposed to be a train in the background. It's just sort of also not a train at the same time. It reminds me a little bit of a train. This is sort of just a victory lap. We're getting so close to the end now. We get to find out what's there. That's fantastic. We're so close now. I wish you could just jump. Well, cast your votes now. What happens at floor 0? Win. I achieved the end. I've now been reborn. I know the secret of happiness. 993 floors to go. You fell into a pit. That's sort of a good metaphor for buying this game. And the whole thing took me 40 minutes to play. $170 for a 40-minute game made in Paint. I'm very sorry you guys had to watch this. The game's rating out of 10? 0.